Well, good evening, everybody. It's Matthew Wyatt here. It's the 7th of October, 2015. I saw a scary statistic the other day that it was something like 11 Fridays till Christmas. So just enough time to start making some really good money with the IQPro and make sure this Christmas and, of course, all of your subsequent ones are very profitable. So some of you were here early and you did already read one of the testimonials that I received just a few weeks ago, and that is from a chap named Glenn in a place called Coonabarabran. And so Glenn, as you can see there, was a retired school teacher and has over the last 5 years made, just over $100,000 a year. And because the IQ Pro is relatively new, we've just delivered it in the last 6 months. Previous to that, we had other versions of our software. He's becoming more and more confident. He's enjoying more and more of the features that we actually provide. And of course, he's going to increase his expectations to 150,000 a year. But that's not entirely typical of all of our customers. Most of our customers are in the position where they realize that the Australian and New Zealand pensions and opportunities for people as they go towards a retirement are quite reduced. And I saw a statistic the other day that New Zealand and Australian pensions are for a single person something like $16,000 or $18,000 a year, which is absolutely woeful. There's not many trips to Paris or bottles of champagne on $18,000 a year. So that is why our program is becoming more and more popular, and why I guess we're becoming, as a company, more strict in regards to the people that we actually welcome on board. Now, Glenn, the reason I bring Glenn's testimonial up is not to just impress you with the numbers, but to impress upon you that he's actually had the program for 5 years and now he's raising his bar. One thing that Glenn also did is, whilst he was still working, is he was actually doing what's called paper trading. And with our program, and I'll show it to you in a moment, what the program actually allows you to do is go back on previous races that have occurred and run those days as if you would actually have been there running the program live. Oh, I've just seen a whole bunch of more people come in. Thank you for coming, and I appreciate taking your time on a Wednesday night. Everybody's got lives to lead. What I was directing other people to do is grab the question box and open that in maybe in the bottom right-hand corner for you, and just let me know that you can hear and see me. But really, the reason the question box is there is so you can ask me questions, and I'll go ahead and stop, answer those questions as we go through, because I promise you this is not TV, this is not one way. My job today is to build on your understanding of the program. We've got a bunch of videos available out there on the internet and things like that. So, g'day Robert. Robert's an existing customer, so g'day Robert. Thank you for coming along. So without any further ado, let me just get into and talk about the order of proceedings. So tonight what we're going to do is the introduction, which I'm sort of halfway through. Going to then do the demonstration of the software, show you how the program works, talk about what's occurred over the last week, showing the program in one day. Some days we might make $1,000, which is great. Other days we might not make any money. That's also fine, but I want you to understand this is a long-term prospect. We've been doing this for some 16 years. And I'm also going to show you a graph that actually shows you what we've done every month over this year. But last month was good. Look, and I don't want to shy away from that. And I'll take our wins when we can take them. We made over $9,000 last month, and that's pretty powerful stuff. So it's important for you to actually understand the program at the basic level and then build on your experience. And Robert has been part of some of the extra webinars we provide. Situations like this, where customers can come along, we will run a training program and then provide you with answers to your questions throughout the week and explore different ideas. And if you want to go along and you want to email me, I'll flick you a couple of those webinars, those training webinars, to build on your existing knowledge. Because it's all about, I would prefer people come on board once they've bought the program and be absolutely confident they can run the program successfully. They've got the time, 10 to 15 hours a week. This is the 4 pillars that probably you're all sick of hearing about, but it's time, temperament, technology, and capital. Time, 10 to 15 hours a week to run this program minimum. Temperament, we're not looking for gamblers, we're looking for people who have a trading mentality, people that are going to go ahead and follow a business plan and go through it. Now, if you can only run the program a couple of days a week, that's fine, but as long as that's a consistent couple of days a week. The third part is technology. Are you comfortable using a computer, or you're overwhelmed? If you're overwhelmed by a computer, go do a course and come back. But in reality, most people can use a computer these days, and the fact that you're on this webinar probably shows me that you've at least got some basic skills. And capital. Now, that's to purchase the software, but not just that, but also to make sure you can cover yourself in the training is video training, and I'll talk about that as well. But I want you to have, and being online, you can go through it in a week. You can go through it in 2 days if you really wanted to go crazy. But customers like Robert and Chris who are online tonight will tell you that taking a stitch in time is worth it down the line. So by taking the extra amount of effort early, going through it slowly, letting it seep in, and doing some practice runs gives you the greatest opportunity for profit. And that's really what we're all about here tonight, is showing you the opportunity to make 50 to 60, 80,000. Some people, as you saw in the testimonial previously, making 100,000. And one chap who's on the line is Chris. He makes double that, more than 200,000 a year, simply because they've gone ahead and committed the effort and time to this. This is not, money doesn't fall out of the sky. Anybody telling you that money's going to fall out of the sky is trying to have a lend to you. What we're going to do is show you a business system that, run properly, can make you a very good amount of money. And you've got the added benefit is the fact that it's not accessible by any agencies or anything like that. It's considered windfall profit, therefore tax paid or tax free. So let's get into it. Actually, here's another testimonial, and this is more like most of our customers. He works full-time as a secondary teacher, so I concentrate my efforts on trading most Saturdays and still average a weekly profit of $400 to $500. I found the training provided to be most thorough and supportive, and after a few months paper trading began to trade live. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, is taking some time to go ahead and understand the program. And by the way, if at any time anybody here says, you know what, I want to talk to that guy, I'm never ever going to show you a testimonial, whether it be here on this online, whether it be on our website, or any third-party story that I tell you. You can go ahead and say, Matt, stop right there. I'd like that person's phone number and I want to talk to them. And the short answer will be yes, you can. Because I only want to provide you with all the information for you to make an informed decision. All right. So I think we've covered off the introduction. Now let's just talk briefly about the earnings that have been created over the last 12 months. And we've all seen graphs like this. And I know that there's a person online at the moment who's seen 1,000 graphs like this. But really what I can do is I can back this up with every single day's trading and the reason why every single day's trading occurred, and show you that trade and show your customers making that and more. Neville's just saying his sound is breaking up. So is anybody else having issues with their sound, or is it just Neville? Just go ahead and let me know if sound okay or sound breaking up. Okay, so people are saying sound okay, Neville. So it might be you. The good news is here, Neville, I am recording it, and I'll go ahead and email that to you. So the point I'm making on here is you can probably see my mouse as well on this. So we started in January, $1,000 a week. We kept chugging along there. Really good month in March. Then we had a lean month in May, $2,700. Not a huge month, but still, $600 a week is, well, better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. And a lot of traders, a lot of people who do earn their money through trading will say that a $2,500 a month as your lowest point in the year is still bloody good. And then we went through 3.1, 3.6, 3.1, and then up to 9 this month. In September. So that's the review. So the results so far for the year is $43,122.50. Every single one of those races is verifiable. And also the what I actually saw on this weekend, I'll show you just a couple of days trading. So far this week we've made the touch over $1,000 just this week. So the program is going strong, and as we swing up into spring racing, you are definitely going to see an uptick. So now is the right time to buy the program. Look, you know what? It's probably a bit like real estate. It's not timing, it's time in. The chap who I was talking about earlier is doubling those numbers and has been doing so for over 16 years. I just want to repeat that. The chap who I talked about earlier is making over $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year, has been doing it for 16 years. And as I said earlier, I can give you his phone number. You can talk to him. And if you're in Adelaide, you can go meet him. He's not doing anything special. He's just gone ahead and made this his business. Anyway, let's move on. So that's the sort of profits that we've achieved so far this year. I would fully expect to be over $60,000 at the end of the 12 months. And that's running the program. Oh, this is the other thing I thought I want to make a point here, is we're not running the program every single day. We're running the program, selecting the races that fit our criteria, trading up to and including a $500 stop profit, and then switching the program off. I'm going to show you a trading day from last week, happened on Saturday, like a couple of days ago, that actually made something like $4,000. But as far as we're concerned, we're only going to show whatever the trade was over $500 or $500 and above. If we've reached that number, we switch it off. Simply because most people come into buying this program not because they have a deep-seated need and love of actually using computer software all day, every day, but it's actually to create a lifestyle. Create a lifestyle where at the end of a month they can get $10,000 out, or $5,000 or $6,000 cash, and go and spend it. And when you consider that if you run a business, or any business, a franchise, a dog washing run, or anything like that, yep, great, you might make $5,000 in a month washing dogs. You probably worked a hell of a lot harder, but there's GST, there's wages, there's running costs, all of those other franchise fees, all of those tax, all of those other things that are occurring throughout that month that impede your actual earnings. So if the $5,000 a month running your dog washing franchise, you will actually find yourself in a position that you might have a couple of grand left over. Whereas with this program, if you've got, as you see here, $3,146.30, how much of that can you spend? $3,146.30. You can go spend that. Or $9,800, that's almost 10 grand. You can go spend that. So Michelle's just asking me a question. Once training is complete, what time period usually before people start live trading? Well, Michelle, that's a great question. As people transition through training to trading, I would say that, let's say people bought the program today and you trained for 2 weeks and then paper traded. So you finished your training, then you paper traded, looked at the program on your daily basis or when it was convenient to you to do. You set out your business plan and you executed on that. I would say 2 weeks of paper trading, getting it right, sending in your data sheets every single day. And I'll show you what a data sheet is in a moment. The great thing is we've got a trainer here whose only job for the last decade, literally a decade, he's been with us actually 12 years, but he's trained over 1,000 people in the use of this program. He's pretty good. His name's Peter McConville. You can go ahead and send your sheet in, your record of your efforts for the day, email it to him, and he'll say, here's what you've done, Michelle. Here's what we've done as the official company line. Do they match up? No, they don't, or yes, they do. If they do, if they match up for 2 weeks in a row, you're off trading happily. If they don't, there'll be a conversation occur. You'll say, why did you take this trade? Why did I not take this trade? Those sort of conversations will happen. Yeah, Neville's going to log out. No problems at all, Neville. I'll email you the demonstration. I'll email you this later on. So, Michelle, hopefully that answered your question. The chap earlier named Gary from Coonabarabran, Glenn, sorry, from Coonabarabran, he paper traded for 6 months because he was still actually had his job. So he would collect the data in the morning, go to work, come home, and just play with the program in the evening rather than watching whatever rubbish is on TV, the Big Loser or whatever. So he'd made this his job. He knew that, even being a teacher for 43 years does provide a reasonably good pension, but that's not enough. It's not good enough, and it's not going to keep you sharp. Sitting on the beach reading a book is not going to actually keep you sharp. Running this program, we've found from a lot of our customers say this is getting them sharper than when they're actually working. Anyway, let's move on. And Michelle's just saying, yes, it's answered the question. My pleasure, Michelle. Let's go on. Okay, so the next part is the IQPro demonstration, sort of what everybody's here to look at. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Oops, where is it? There it is. Okay, here's the program. This is what it looks like. Now, a lot of people, when they first see the program, they go, oh, that's a lot of numbers. I don't know what I'm doing. You go, that's great. You know what? It is a lot of numbers. But the thing is, with our training, we're going to provide you the opportunity to understand exactly what everything is here. Now, I'm not going to go through in minute detail and explain each individual aspect of it, but I am going to give you a broad overview. I am going to have you understand that there's absolutely no way for us to be making this stuff up. There's absolutely no way for us to say that is a trade when it's not. Okay, and that's a really interesting part about our business, is that there's absolutely, where if you go back and look at a data sheet which shows a profit, and then you go and look at your data here and it doesn't, then there's something wrong that either we've got wrong or you've got wrong. And if we've got something wrong, we email out to the entire database saying, hey, update to this particular data sheet. So let me go ahead, and this is today's data I've collected on Gawler, Ballarat, Canterbury. These are all the races I've selected today. We've still got some races occurring in Belmont. I don't ever sit down for 8 hours at a row. Let me just say that. I usually trade the program, and most of our customers will trade the program until they've achieved their daily trading stop. Then they continue to let the program collect data so they can play with it later and learn more. But I just want, the reason I collected all this is just to impress upon you that there's 8 hours of racing a day. There's actually more if you include New Zealand and evening races as well, but I haven't done that. Excuse me, I'm just having a sip of water. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you, I guess we should start at where Michelle's question lies, is how do we go ahead and do and understand the program. The program comes preloaded with data. Now, this is my database. This is me running the program, and I collect data every single day. Your program will come with 3 months of data without the answers filled in. This is not there's no value in cheating. So we're going to give you a database without the data sheets filled in. Let me show you an example of a data sheet. Let me click on Saturday last week. Just going to go ahead and make that full screen so you can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Okay, so this is the program. Now it looks exactly like the live program, but we've got Saturday the 3rd of October history mode. So it's bright red, it's got a red border around it. It's obvious that we're looking at history data. Now there's lots and lots of races on the Saturday. Gold Coast started at 12:11, and scroll down, and the races would have finished at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Let me just keep going. Now, yes, we collected all this data. Why do we do that? Because some customers might not get home in front of the computer until 4 o'clock. So then they start running the program from 4:28 through to 9:27. Well, that's even a long time. So the idea, and that's why we also show every single trade that's possible on the day. We don't show it in our end data sheets. Let me show you the actual profits for the day. And you can see here that, look, it was an exceptionally good day. We chugged along a little bit, had a couple of good trades, and we finished the day on, this is the profit, the account balance section here. We just scroll down. So we finished the day, the official number of $3,993 for the day. Look, that is a unusually profitable day. I'm not showing you that to have you all go, wow, I can make $4 grand in a day. Look, it's possible. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. Because our graph would be off the chart then if it did happen all the time. What I will show you is this is where, so I've just scrolled back up to the top. Where would IQPro have stopped showing data and showing profit? It would have stopped showing it here at $1,068 for the day. Okay. So whilst, yes, we had all of that available later on, and we do show that because customers want, what if customer starts at, if we go, oh, well, I've just started my day at BR5 and we don't showing any data trades, well, or any trades, that's not going to work for you. So $1,000 we would have shown for the day. And that would have been the banked profit for the day. Okay. Let me go ahead and click through a few trades here for this day. Whoops, wrong way. Scrolling up. Is everybody on with me so far? Understanding? Any questions? No? Great. Okay. So the first race today was LR1 on the Gold Coast. And as we click through, you'll see that the data changes at each interval. So LR1 Gold Coast, let me just go through this particular grid, and then we'll just quickly move through and I'll show you how to identify races in less than 2 seconds. And this is the powerful thing about our program, is you can actually go ahead once you're trained, and at the end of tonight's webinar, you will be able to identify races to trade on in less than 2 seconds. Let's get into it. So over here, this is the horse's number that we actually have, the actual horse's number. We don't show horses' names or jockeys or trainers. Look, that's all lovely, but it's not relevant. It's absolutely not relevant to me as a trader and as you as a new customer. Having said that, it's available. If you right-click on here, show and hide details. Well, there you go. So horse number 3 is called MVP, and number 1's called Clout and Sassy Dragon. Look, it's a complete red herring. It's not. There's probably red herrings in there too somewhere, but it's not going to give you. It's not going to give you any market intelligence. And this program is about trading. It's about providing you market intelligence, not clever names or jockeys or anything like that. So we have it there available. We just don't care. In one of my latest videos I put up on the front page of our website, we actually said, I don't care if Santa Claus is riding Phar Lap. That'll be a good race to watch, but not very profitable probably. Anyway, so horse number, ordered from favourite to least favourite. So horse number 3 is paying $3.20. Horse number 4 is paying $3.80. Horse number 1 is paying $3.90. So those 3 horses are relatively close together. The next column over, now as I said, if at any time anybody wants me to re-explain something, jump on the question box, say, Matt, can you just go ahead and stop, and I want you to explain that again. Because you know what? 100% of the time when you're thinking of a question, other people here, there's 30-something people here tonight, other people are going to be thinking of it and maybe just not quick enough on the typing to actually type it in and ask the question before I've moved on. So please, if you're interested, do go ahead and type a question. All right, so the next column over is the percentage of the prize pool that each horse is holding. Okay, so horse number 3 is holding 26% of the money. So of the 8 horses that are in this race, over 25% of it, 26%, 26.43 to be exact, 26% of the money is being bet on horse number 3. Next horse down, 22% is being bet on horse number 4, and 21% is being bet on horse number 1. So cumulatively, 26 plus 22 plus 21 is 70%. And so C percentage means cumulative percentage. And of course, this column is going to add up to 100. So if you go 26 plus 22 is going to equal 48. 48 plus 21 is going to be 70. And so you can see that's cumulative percentage. In blue here, the program has covered 70% of the cumulative prize pool. The next column over, now I'm telling you what the columns are. Once I've laid that foundation, then I'm going to build on top of that foundation and explain to you what they mean and how to use them. Next column over is what each horse is paying for a place. That's pretty simple. Places first, second, third. Next 3 columns, WDIF, UDIF, and WUP, are not relevant to this evening's conversation. If you want me to personally go over it with you, I will. That's all about the price movement of the horse and not going to feature in the rest of tonight's conversation. So I'm just going to skip over that, because if I really got deep into every part of it, we'd be here for 2 hours. And most people have an evening to go to. There's quite a few New Zealanders here online, and I know it's already past 9 o'clock at night. So we'll move on, because you guys are in data savings. That's for the Australians here. The next column over is the MG column. This is important. I will talk about this and I will explain this more than once. The MG column, MG stands for money gap. Remember, we're ordering the horses from favourite to least favourite. Horse number 3 is paying $3.20. Horse number 9 is paying $20.60. Just follow along with my mouse. Over here, MG, that's showing us the difference between one horse and another. Horse number 3 might be a lovely grey filly out of New Zealand, and horse number 4 might be a brown thing from Dubbo. I don't know, and I don't know their names because I don't care. But what I do know mathematically is that horse 3 is paying $3.20 and horse 4 is paying $3.80. The difference, one horse is paying holding 26%, the next one's holding 22%. So what? Well, the difference between those 2 horses is a multiplier of 1.19, or to say it another way, 19%. And once again, I'm telling you what it is. I'm going to tell you how to use it in just a moment, so don't get stressed. So let me explain that again. Horse number 1 is paying $3.80. Horse number 4 is paying $3.90. The difference there is 10 cents, but in percentage terms, it's 3%, or a multiplier of 1.03. Why is this important? What the program does is we're trying to group horses together with a similar price to include them in a certain group. The program is usually going to cover horses for 50% of the prize pool for a first, 70% for a second, and 90% for a third. So the program might come up like this. 50% covered for a first, actually it would come to there because it does 50 or over. 70%, well it's there as well, and 90% for a third place. So the reason these are in red, now people are already saying, what's the red number? Okay, I'm explaining that. The red number is going to show us when there is a gap of greater than 50%. Okay, so the difference between $3.90 and $8.50, well, even Blind Freddy, the guy worst at maths, know that there's probably going to be, well, it's obviously double, $3.90, obviously it's double $8.50. How big is that gap? Well, the gap is 2.18 times, more than double. We show in here horses with a difference of greater than half or greater than 50%. Now, I know that sounds complex. I'm just people saying they've got it. How to use that rule is really simple. And I'll move on to the next race and show it to you in real life. But I just want to explain to you what that's doing. We're highlighting horses with a gap of greater than 50% or 1.5 to the next one down. Okay. Now, as you probably already guessed, these three horses being covered for a first being in the 1 column, these three horses for a second being in the 2 column, and these horses all being covered for a third place in the 3 column. Now, all this data from this first black line backwards is every single dollar being bet on every single horse, every single minute before the race jumps. Okay? That means that we can see all of this information coming in. If there's a big dump of cash, all the way along. Yes, Wayne is just asking, are the odds change? Do the odds change? Absolutely. And if I go ahead and move the data, see this area, the reason it's in black bars, it's a great question. The reason here is in black bars is because this is the time that we're calculating the odds over here. So as the race is occurring live, so I'm going to click on this arrow here to move the data backwards. You keep your eyes over here and watch for the odds to change. So I've gone ahead and I'll click on that. See that? And you've got, we're moving back. I don't know, did you see that? I've just moved to the 3-minute mark, $3.70, $3.90, $4.10, $3.60, $3.90, $4.10. So at every minute mark, we're calculating the information. Okay, Wayne's got it, great. At every time, because this is a live trading program, where we can only see what's happening now. If we could see the future, well, I'd have probably an act in Las Vegas. But what we're doing here is we're looking at the data at this snapshot in time, at 3 minutes before the race jumps, which is the 3 here. This is the countdown before the race begins, by the way. We collect data all the way back, as far as you can tell. But as we get closer to the race, the data comes in more often because it's more relevant. And we're trying to react, and we're able to react because of the speed of this program to the last bets that people are actually putting on that are going to give us the greatest opportunity for profit. So as we go forward, you can see the data changing there. All right. So I've covered a lot of things. Every dollar on every horse, every minute before the race jumps, what horses we're covering, the gaps between them, and the prices. Now, after 15 minutes of explanation, you actually don't need to remember much of that at all, simply because we've made it really easy for you. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see some what the graphics guys called red pills and green pills. Okay. Rod's just asking how often is the program refreshed. It's live. We get the program receives a data feed and checks for new data every couple of seconds. It collates that information and shows it on the screen. I've got the program set up to show it at minute intervals. The program also, sorry, I've just got another question here. I'll answer that in a moment, Simon. I download the information and have the information collated and brought into my screen every minute. You can choose every 30 seconds. You can also choose actual times the data comes in. Okay, so hopefully that explains it. So the program has a huge database sitting behind it, and then we just show what's relevant to us. Simon is asking if I purchase next week, could the training be fast-tracked? The great thing about the training, Simon, it's all video-based. So literally, if you wanted to mainline this and be making money by Christmas, the short answer is yes, because I've had customers who have said, you know, this week is my training week, and actually gone through the 8 videos or 9 videos that we've got, done a couple of live sessions with Peter, and have all of that information under their belt. Then they can go ahead and do some paper trading. So you still want to actually go ahead and be running the program in paper trading mode. And then when you're confident, you can start trading. But you know, we're a long way at, well, 11 weeks till Christmas. Spend 1 week training, 2 weeks going ahead and do the 2 weeks going and doing the live data, and you'd be right to go. Probably by the end of the month if you're really super keen. Michelle saying, got that, but not the C percentage and MG column so much. Can you go over those later in the week? Yes, I can, Michelle. I'll give you a quick go over again now. Hopefully that answers it. If not, I'm happy to do another demo. And can you look at the next races at the same time? Yes, you can, Mark. You just, when you're looking at live data, you can set the program up to ding at you. I've got headphones on, so the speakers aren't on my computer, but every now and then I'm hearing the live race. The program actually goes ding and brings up a blue pop-up in front of your screen. So even if you're typing away in Word or you're surfing the internet on Facebook, whatever, a little blue pop-up will slide up over your screen and say, hey, there's a race coming up. So the reason I've got the program on a race that's already occurred is because if I'm talking about data and trying to bring your attention to a certain number and it then changes, it just causes more confusion. And I'm trying to be the least confusing demonstration possible whilst I'm dealing with a complex subject. All right then, hopefully that helps. All right, so let me just quickly go over cumulative C percentage. This is the percentage of the prize pool that each horse is holding. Horse number 3 is holding 26%. Horse number 4 is holding 22%. If you have got your calculator out or worked it out in your head, 26 plus 22 is 48. That's it. That doesn't get any more complex than that. And then, of course, it's going to add up to 100. So if we say 95 plus 410, 99 or 100. Okay, so I've covered the screen off. And as I was saying earlier, remember, do jump in and ask questions. That's what I'm here to do. You can essentially almost forget all of that. So Michelle, don't get too stressed because you can almost forget all of that. Just look here. Is anything in red? When you're driving the car and you see a red light, hopefully you stop. That's it. If there's anything red in this area down the bottom here, you stop and you do not trade. So we pretty much could have deleted the last 15 minutes of explanation and said, hey, look for the red lights, look for the green lights. Of course, that'd be a pretty short demo and you'd be sitting here wondering, hey, what's the basis behind that? Is there any meat to this? And there certainly is. There's lots going on here. But of course, what I'm trying to show you is simplified. Okay, red money marks. Let me just quickly go through the rules. If you've got a pen, you can write this down. If you've got a good memory, you can just remember it, or if you can ask me and I'll send it to you. Field, 8 to 16 horses. Less than 8, greater than 16, no bet. Goes red. This race has 8, so that's fine. Dollars on favourite. Less than $1.80, it goes red. Okay. The pool, and that's $3.20. So the favourite, remember, up here is $3.20. That's okay. The pool, we need more than $5,000. Less than $5,000 goes red, no bet. That's the amount of money being bet on for a trifecta, because we're looking at trifecta. That's what this word here is, trifecta. So in the trifecta pool, that's the amount of money being bet on this race. $3,400 is in the trifecta amount of money to be paid out to people. If it's not over $5,000, we don't trade. The number of combinations is 24. If it's over 60, we don't trade. So if you keep your eyes down here at 24, and I go ahead and add this horse in, it's not just going to add 1 to it. It's going to add quite a number because of all the different combinations. And this is the cleverness about our program. We can put up to 60, that's 60 different bets, 1 minute or 30 seconds before the race jumps. And if any of those come in, double or treble your money. And that's exactly what happened on this day. There was a couple of trades here on this day that actually spent 400, got back 1,200, so we've essentially doubled our money. Doubled our money in profit. So the next rule, remember, so no more than 60. The next rule is dollars on top combo. Now, we've dealt with the 3 rules that come from the TAB: number of horses in the race, how much the favourite's paying, and the amount of money in the prize pool. Great. Then the program has its own 3 rules. Combos: how many combinations is the program telling us to take? Dollars on top combo, because this is the other clever thing about our program. Some people say, oh, well, we can do a trifecta. I don't need to buy your program. Look, that's great. But could you do this? Can you place 36 individual combinations 1 minute or 30 seconds before the race jumps, all with a different dollar amount on it, to ensure you get a profitable return regardless of which one comes in? And that is the piece of math that has continued to provide us with a very profitable product and very happy customers since February 1999. So these are all the bets. So we had $27 on the combination of 3, 4, and 1, which is 3, 4, and 1. That's the favorite. If we have less than $20 on the favorite combination, that will go red, and that will mean a no trade or a no bet for us. Inversely, on the other side of that, how many of our bets are $1, $2, and $3? That's low dollar multiple values. How many of our bets are $1, $2, and $3? Well, in this case, 13.89%. If it's greater than 30% or 33%, my mistake, 33% or 1/3, that's a no trade. Okay? You don't need to do the math and go, oh, 1, 2, there's another one there, 3, 4. Don't worry about it. The program does it for you. If there's anything to do with math, the program's going to do it for you and show it to you in really obvious terms here. So that's the basics of the program. Hopefully I'm covering questions as you're having them. Do go ahead and ask them. If you go, Jordan had to leave because he's having audio problems, and I'll definitely email it to him. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Yes, that is actually correct. So one thing I didn't mention is how much we're spending on this trade, $400. Now you can go up here and make that 200. You can make that, you can click on the next button over, which is 50 cents. You can make, so 400 units at 50 cents each equals $200. Or you can make $400 trades. You can make $100 trades. You know, if you wanted to, you can make $1,000 trades. You know, you can make as big a trade as you like. Of course, you want to make sure that your rules in regards to pool and a few other things. And if you do want to raise the stakes or lower them, do have a conversation with Peter McConville, the trainer. He will go ahead and recommend the most accurate way to go ahead and do that. So the short answer is yes, that was $400 for all those combos. All right, so that was Saturday. Yes, it was an amazing day. I don't mind showing it, but what the important part here is I wanted to sort of reflect on is we would only be showing a $1,000 profit for that day, not the $4,000 that was actually on offer. Because, as I said earlier, we want to make sure that our customers, we want to represent to customers what we think would be reasonable for them to actually do. But of course, if you said, right, I'm in for all day Saturday, you got $4,000 in the bank. All right, so let's shut that down. Let's go ahead and go to, close that down. And what I'm going to do is actually, that's a Saturday. That's great. Let me go ahead and show you Monday. Here's Monday. Data all loads up, full screen. And let's go ahead and have a look at that. So Monday is definitely not going to be as impressive as a Saturday. Let me just go ahead and do that. Okay. You know what? I'm glad I showed you this. This is a position where we've gone, you know what? We've had a couple of trades. We've had a loss and we've come back. This is what it looks like here. So these are all the trades for the day. We had a CR4. This was a public holiday, so there wasn't a lot of action at all. We had a trade. We had a loss. We had another trade. We had another loss. Well, actually, we had a win on that one, but we lost money. Then we turned around and came back and went ahead and make $247 for the day. Look, that's not a huge amount of money, but I don't mind showing it simply because it's an extra $247. Tax paid, tax free for the day, following your rules, following the guidelines that you want to set out. Let me go ahead and close that. Let me show you what happened on Tuesday, and then I'll bring up Wednesday and we'll go through today. History, Tuesday. Is everybody keeping up? Yep, great. Okay, good. Okay, bit of a sad day. We had a race that's abandoned. A grey pill over here means it's been abandoned. Also says abandoned up here. Nowra, which was Sydney racing, that's Saturday. So it was, sorry, Tuesday. Not much racing going on. The only race of the day that actually created there was one trade for the day, which was a SR5, a trifecta. Let's go have a look at that. SR5, where is it? There it is. Now, I wanted to show you this. This is interesting. The program has selected, remember, we want a minimum of $1.80 in the favourite. What we can see there is $1.80 in the favourite and 46% of the money is being bet on horse number 1. Just a moment. Sorry, I'm being just... Sorry about that. We've got, so as Rod just asked a question, once newbies understand the program, do you do a live demo? Absolutely, Rod. That's actually all part of it. We do. Are you talking once you've understood the basic training and then you'll do live trading with the trainer online? Because yes, we do that. And if that's not what you meant, hey, there's a new benefit that I haven't mentioned yet, is once you're actually, okay, good, that's exactly what you meant. Once you've trained up and you've got the basics, you've created that underlying understanding, will Peter McConville, the trainer, sit with you and actually trade and look at races live? The short answer is yes. Wayne's asking, do I have to bet with the TAB or can IQPro submit bets with a bookmaker? Good question. The challenge with bookmakers is in regards to bookmakers, oh, by the way, there's the little indicator to say that there's races going to happen in 5 minutes. The problem with bookmakers is it's a competition between you and the bookmaker. And with the TAB, the money all goes into a pool and gets divvied up. They don't care who wins or loses, they get their money from the turnover. A bookmaker makes their money by beating you and taking your bets. So that's the inherent difference between a bookmaker and the TAB running a parimutuel pool. We actually, 2012, actually 2013 came in, we had an agreement. Yeah, a bit of a way of just saying, yeah, it's definitely a conflict because the idea of the TAB is to raise their turnover and that's how they get paid. The idea of a bookmaker is to beat you, and that's why they're trying to give you all the whiz-bang clever ways. If you've anybody's watched a grand final in the last couple of weeks or any sporting match, you know, they make their enticements more and more complex just to get you to put your money down because they know there's going to be losses along the way, and that's how they make their money. We actually did a deal with Bet Easy, which is now called Crown. It's run by one of the biggest bookmakers in Australia, and they took all of our customers, gave us bonuses, started paying out bonuses, and it was all very happy until they realised that I did tell them that our customers win, and I don't think they believed it. I think they've been in racing so long they thought everybody's every punter's a loser, and there's no system that can win. And so with that jaundiced view, they took our customers on, and they bled so bad. And then they sacked us as a customer group. And so even though we were our customers were happy, they were getting the bonuses, they were getting all the things the bookmakers offer. The bookmakers did the math and went, oh my God, we are just losing so badly here, and they canned us. And so we've gone back to the TAB, who are very, very generous and welcomed us back with open arms, because some of our customers, just individuals, one customer I know of is turning over more than $2 million a year, and TAB makes their money on that. So on this race, hopefully that's answered those questions. On this race, horse number 1 has got $1.80 holding 46% of the prize pool. Is there a difference between one horse and another? 3.78 times. Yes, there is substantial difference. We can stand what's called stand him out. We can have him just as a first place because we're covering $1.80 and we've got a huge gap here. The next horse down is here. Let me just show you how to use these. Go ahead and click on unlock the selections. This is how the program presented itself with these bars in blue and orange and green. What we did here is we know there's a style of trading called a mega trifecta. You can, as long as there's a huge gap here and the horse is paying $1.80, you can cut him away and you add to the next red marker. So this is how you would use these red indicators now. Where's the next red marker? There. And when you get down to over 90%, you can stop at 30% or 31, that's fine. So that's where it would stop. And that's where we created that level of profit there of 788. And there's no other trades for that. If I just click forward to the next race, you can see here, 3 are in red, no bet. Kilmore, that was abandoned. Nowra, 1 is in red, no bet. Now some customers go, oh, well, only 1 was in red, that's why I placed a trade. And I jokingly say to people, look, you can't be a little bit pregnant. It's either red or it's not. So if there's anything red, you don't trade. Hopefully that saying sticks with you. Okay, Kilmore, and I'm just clicking on next races. I'm clicking up here, next race, and you can see all of these are red, and that's a no trade. All right, so let's close that down. So we had Saturday at registered, not possible profit of $4,000, but registered profit of $1,000. Monday of 247. This day of 788. I'm just going to go ahead and this is today's racing. So are we all getting a bit of an understanding? What time is it? I don't want to go too much longer than the hour. So I'll just quickly dash through today's racing. You might want to watch this again once I send you the recording, because I am going to sort of slide through this pretty quickly. All right, first race in Gawler, no bet, red. So keep your eyes down here in this section, and I'll quickly click through. And this is how quickly, once you become confident with the program, you can get through a day's racing. Next race. Is this a trade? No, because it's in red. Okay, because there's only 4 horses in the race. Is this a trade? No, field only 6. Okay, next race, is that a trade? No, dollars and favourites $1.50, pools $4,000, no go. Is this a trade? No, $19, no bet. Really simple stuff. Toowoomba, no bet. Field. Can you see how this? We're going to just got a question here from someone. Can we do a live race? Yep, I'll definitely do that. On the next Belmont race, where is it? 750. Where's the next race coming up? Yep. Let's click on it. I'll just jump forward. Let's go ahead and have a look at this race. All right then. So these 2 horses here are okay. We would have made our trade at 1 minute. Let me just go back here. This is our 1 minute mark. This is when we would have placed our trade. The race is still open. Okay, see that? We have those 2 horses for first place. What do? We're going to add to the next red marker for second. So, because the difference between horse number 6 and horse number 8 is only, okay, by the way, the program is running live, so we're collecting live data. And we've got these 2 horses covered here. That's why I've just had the data just moved. This is why I don't show live races when a person's relatively new, but I'm doing it for you guys because I think we've got a pretty good understanding. These 2 for the first, these covered for a second place, and for a third, we need to add any more there? No. So that, as far as I'm concerned, would be a trade. So I didn't actually get to place the bet because the race is now closed. See how it's gone yellow over here, down here in this area here. So that race just closed as we're doing that. So that would be a trade that we would have taken. So let's go ahead and wait for that data to come through, see how we went. So these are all the things that you can take into account. You can have a look at, have a look at the money profile here. We've got in the last minute, we had $900 placed on horse number 7 between the 2 minute mark and the 1 minute mark. Oh, by the way, this is not cumulative. This is what I was going to cover earlier, but we skipped it. So I can do it now while waiting for the race to come in. This is not cumulative money. So between the 3-minute mark and the 2-minute mark, exactly $1,000 was placed on horse number 7. A brand new $1,000 was placed on horse number 7 at the next minute mark. Cumulatively, that's a couple of grand. And you can see here in the last minute, the horses down here really dropped away. If you have a look in this white section, there's really very little money actually occurring down here. There's really no love for it at all. The horses at the top here. Now, if I was placing a live trade and I had time, I would go click across to percent return to check those financial gaps. Those financial gaps are really interesting. Percent return is something we haven't covered yet, and I'm not going to cover tonight because I did go well over time answering your questions, and I really appreciate that, but I can cover percent return on a personalized demo if you like. Percent return is reordering the horses just while we're waiting for the race data to come in. We're reordering the horses not from favorite to least favorite, but actually in dollar value in the last 5 minutes. So as the last 5 minutes has happened, we've actually ordered the horses. So horse number 7 is taking 2829 in the last 5 minutes. Horse number 1 is taking 1500. Horse number 6 taking 1300. We're looking for those gaps. Do they line up cash value wise with our trifectas? And they do. We've got a gap here, here, and here. Look at trifecta. We're looking for those gaps. Actually, they don't line up, but there is a substantial gap between that horse there and the next, and then a substantial gap going downwards. So this would be on our website as a trade. I'm just waiting for the data to come through. Okay, and there you go. So that race just came in. There's the interim results. So you can see the word interim there. 7, 1, 8 came in first, second, third. Let's find that. 7 came in first, 1 came in second, 8 came in third. That's a pretty high likely trifecta to come in. That's going to not pay very much. But this is the part. As I said earlier, about half an hour ago, it feels like now, but the math sitting in behind here means that we actually put $23 on that combination. So here it is, 718. Dividend paid only $29 for every $1 you had on it. You got 29 back. The bet was $23, so we had 23 bucks on it. 23 multiplied by 29. We made $6.76 on that race. There you go, a live trade. Now, if that had lost, I would be just as flippant about it. Okay? Simply because I'm not trying to show you that we can magic money up. I'm trying to show you a program that over the last 16 years has continued to create long-term scalable profit. Sorry, not scalable, replicatable profit. And a couple of people are saying that's pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's nice when you get a winner live in front of customers, of course. But as I said, it would be I would be just as enthusiastic if we'd lost. Anyway, so that's the program. Now I've got a bit more to cover, so I'm just going to leave on a high, another $600 in the bank, or $276 profit on that one. If I go ahead and bank that, I'll show you what we've done for the day so far. Bring that up, and so we had 3 trades: MR3, AR6, and that one just now, producing us a grand total of $739 for the day. Look, you know what? That's pretty good. That's a good day's work. All right, for sitting in front of your computer. Oh, this, by the way, there's a few, I'm just looking at the list of people here. A few people here have talked to me about share trading programs and indices programs. The great thing about this is you're never exposed more than $400. Some people say, oh, look, I can make exponential amounts of money trading Forex and those sort of things. You go, yeah, great. How much are you actually exposed if it goes against you? My mother's partner, he actually left a couple of trades open because he's been doing very well, living off it as a semi-retired gentleman, and doing very, very well. Bought a new Mercedes sort of well. And left a couple of trades open, went to the bathroom, and this is in the Forex market a few years ago. Left a couple of trades open, went to the toilet, came back. The market had turned against him and lost $54,000 actual cash. They did a call on his account, closed his account, then sent him a bill for the rest. Even though he didn't have the money in his account, they sent him the bill for the rest. Because when you sign up to those accounts, you actually agree to cover any and all losses, even if they go beyond your own. Because for every $1 you got in those markets, people say, oh well, for every $1 I've got 10 times leverage. Well, that's great. That means you can trade $1 for every 10, oh sorry, $10 for every one. And when it goes up, happy days. When it goes down, you're a very sad camper. Anyway, let me just quickly show you some of the training because people are asking some questions about training, and I know Simon did earlier. Let's go ahead and close that and go back to the slides. There it is. Okay, we did the demonstration, quite a long one. Membership. I'm just going to see if I can zip through this. This is our back-end portal. If you go to IQPro page, you'll see a little window in the top right-hand corner saying log in. Person logs in here, and this is we've actually spent a lot of time building a substantially huge a back-end system to make sure you're 100% supported. Every question that's ever been asked of us is loaded and logged in here, and we have our own little mini Google tool that if you type in anything like bet, 1,000 different entries will come up answering any questions about people having betting, how they bet, where they bet, who they bet with, all those sort of things. How they open their TAB account, how they draw money out, how they get them, how New Zealanders draw their money out, everything. So I have just taken screenshots, and this is what it looks like inside. And this is what it looks like once you're logged in. Now, my wife, I'm logged in under her name, Terry White. And if I want to go ahead and ask a question, well, first of all, you should click on the search button and just start typing away. Oh, bet, and then it'll just come up with all the answers. If you're not sure, you can go ahead and submit a ticket. It goes into our ticketing system. We have 2 full-time people whose job is to do nothing but answer your questions. That's outside of the trainer. The trainer's going to be there, pardon me, the trainer's going to be there to actually go ahead and train you, but technically we've got 2 full-time people here to do that because we realized most customers want the answers quick and they don't necessarily want to look for them. Trust me, the answers are there if you go looking for them, but we know that people are lazy, so we still have 2 people full-time ready to answer your questions. So we have support groups. One thing I wanted to bring up here is support groups. In every city in Australia and New Zealand, there is a group of people that get together every single month to talk about how they could support each other to get better with the program. Now that's pretty cool, right? Imagine being able to buy into a business and meet other people who have bought that business, and they will actually go in and help you become more successful for free. That's the community we have. It didn't happen overnight. We've been doing this for 16 years now. So look, you don't generate all of this cool stuff in one day. You do it over time by delivering every single day a friggin' good product. Sorry, a very good product. All right, let's go on. Helen here in Christchurch says the support team at IQPro and their commitment to give their knowledge and experience shows the integrity of this company and is backed up by the data and by the results of those customers who use the program and are so willing to pass on their experience. Actually, that worked out really nicely from what I just said. Gary is just asking, can you have too many punters on one race? If the reason we only bring on 3 to 5 customers a month is to manage that issue. And also, if you talk to the high-end traders, the Chris and the Merv and people like that, they're actually trading slightly differently. They're using their own rule sets, and we actually do share those rule sets. So what I've shown you tonight is the cookie cutter. I can take almost anybody that is in even half going to make an effort and train them to do what I showed you tonight. Then, of course, being human nature, most people want to go ahead and expand on those rules and see if they can make more money. And that's what happens, Gary. So if I just move on, I wanted to talk about the training, the actual videos. And somebody asked a question earlier about training. Can you fast track it? Well, the short answer is yes. You go ahead and these are the lessons, these video lessons. I'll go ahead and show you lesson 2, for example. We've gone ahead and actually videoed in high definition exactly what you need to do to make a trifecta selection. Now, I spent half an hour covering the whole program. In this particular section, Peter spends 27 minutes discussing just the money gap process. So earlier, Michelle said, oh, I don't really understand that MG column. We spent 27 minutes getting into it. Then we talk about the logic behind it, another 4-minute video. These are the 2 longest videos, by the way. None of them are more than 27 minutes. So we have the key objective here, understanding the basic trifecta selection process. Then we have the videos that back that up. Then we have the printouts that you can print out and stick on your desk next to you. Then we have a testing system that if you scroll down on this page, you can click on Start Test. It would bring up dummy races, and then you would click in you would put those ticks in that we showed in the program, hit Submit. That goes to collate, automatically checked and sent off to you and say, yes, you passed, no, you didn't, and go from there. So Mark, so if anybody's losing audio, as I said, I'll send you the email tonight. I'm just going to keep moving on here. This is a particularly long testimonial, but I think it's quite important. I purchased the software in November 2014. I almost purchased it in 2009, as I could see there was a great earning potential, but went for a cheaper version instead. That did not work and I lost my money. I was very happy when IQPro was offered to me again in 2014. The support and training is second to none and everyone is very helpful. The best part is knowing the program does work and also that everyone is so helpful and makes me feel part of the team by offering involvement in everything that is available. I would definitely recommend IQPro to friends and family, plus anybody else who shows interest. So we actually have customers that are happy to actually talk to you before you buy the program. And some of them will even show you the program in their home. It's pretty powerful. You don't get that by incentivizing these guys financially because they're inviting you to their home. You do that because you've actually got a bloody good program. So the next slide, we're almost there. Hang with me. And this is another customer who, once again, if you wanted to go meet them, you could. You can call them up on the phone today. And he said, like, these are just excerpts from very long, glowing testimonials. I didn't want to bore you all tonight, but today IQPro is my business. And as I said earlier, follow a business plan. Today IQPro is my business. I've set up my office as such and worked for the program most days. And I'm working on a target to earn $50,000 this year, being a target of $200 per session. This will be easy to achieve based on my current achievements. $200 a day. This gentleman, his name Merv, he retired quite a few years ago, uses our program, and 50 grand a year as a retiree, it's pretty bloody good. 50 grand a year extra just running the program when you have a chance, I think it's pretty bloody good actually. Anyway, and look, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I wanted to leave it with you. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Are there any more questions that I can answer for you before we sign off? I did rip through that last part and those testimonials and things. I do like to finish up these things in about an hour. Is there anything, Tracy? Tracy just said, that's brilliant, Matthew. I know you mean the program, not me. Look, John, did I write the program? Actually, no, I didn't write the program. I've always owned the company. I did empower really, really clever people to go ahead and write the program for me, and in concert with a few really brilliant people. Actually, the good thing is our developer, our programmer, is in-house. So he is actually dialed into the business. He is a partner. And that means that upgrades, revisions, the TAB changing their data feed, anything happening, he's incentivized to make that change and deliver it to customers. At the beginning of the year, we started the version number at version 3 or version 4, IQPro. So far, we're up to version, the delivered program is version 14. We haven't delivered 14 versions. We've delivered, I think, 6 or 7. And that's just a free update that you guys can go and grab anytime you want. And when the program starts, it'll just say, hey, there's an update available. So look, if there's no more questions, please do feel free to email me. If you do want to go ahead and purchase the software, I'd love to welcome you on board. As I said, we only bring on 3 to 5 people a month. So if you do want to get on board, do contact me, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through those 4 pillars. Rod is putting question marks in. What question are you asking, Rod? Rod, if you just want to go ahead and email me, please do so. I don't know, or you can give me a bell tomorrow on our office number. Just go to our website, iqpro.com.au. By the way, actually, while you're online, go to our website, iqpro.com.au. Have a look at the new animation we uploaded just today, and that does give you a bit more information about our business, and you can go ahead and message me through there. Rod's asking, can the red and green indicator change as the race gets closer? Absolutely, Rod. They absolutely do. Like, everything can possibly change from 1 minute to the next, and that's why this program is so accurate, is because it's a live trading program. We bet 1 minute before the race jumps. Things change all the time. That's why you need to be available to be in front of the computer for those 10 to 15 hours. You don't have your nose pressed up against it, but you do actually need to be available. So you might scope out the race and say, oh, I need to be in front of the program at 7:15 at 1:30, and I need to be in front of the computer at 2:10. And so you'll go ahead and sit down 5 minutes before those races occur, and you go, oh, okay, it's looking good, red indicator, I'm going to wait to the 1 minute mark. That is a no trade, skip it. That is definitely a trade, click the bet button. And you need to be trained to a level where you get it at that level and you can just go ahead and go yes or no. And that's what we'll get you to before you go ahead and start trading with our program, is you need to make that instant decision. And people go, oh, well, it's hard to think about. Well, just imagine, all of us drive cars here. You're driving on the road, cat runs out. You don't think to yourself, oh, must remove right foot from accelerator, move it a couple of inches to the left, and then depress the pedal there. You go brake, because you've had the practice. And that's what the program is about. It's developing you the muscle memory so you can go, yes, that's a trade. No, it's not. Another question here is, can you do it later than 1 minute, e.g. on a race delay? Short answer is yes, but how would you know? If you're watching the races, well, then you might be going sort of against what we're actually teaching. So look, I am being a bit flippant, but the reality is, do customers watch the races? Yes, they do. Do people trade after the 1 minute mark? Yeah, absolutely. But we put that $40,000, $48,000 we've earned so far, and the $60,000 we've earned every year for the last, decade and a half, 16 years, has been based on 1 minute trades. Because some people live in New Zealand, in places like, Whakatane, long way away from anywhere, but they go ahead and push that button 1 minute and still get their trade on. So that's what I'm talking about. So if you are watching races, yes, you can, but you would be going against or different to what we actually are teaching. All right, hopefully that answers the question. Yes, I'm glad it has. Are there any, actually, I actually think we do have customers in Whakatane, funnily enough. I just think the name's, it's a funny place name. Are there anybody else, any other questions? No? All right, well, look, I'm going to sign off. Everybody have a nice evening. Thank you to the New Zealanders who are now sitting there at 10 o'clock at night. Really appreciate your time. I know you've got lives to lead, but you know what? What's on TV? It's crap. So hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you got some value, and I really look forward to welcoming you on board as one of our profitable customers. I'd love to show a testimonial in 6 months' time to people doing a demo like this, where it says Rod or Tracy or Wayne or Simon, hi Matt, thank you. I've made $36,000, $48,000 my first 6 months of running the program. I'm really glad I came on board. So guys, I'm going to, on that note, I'll bid you good night. Thanks very much. Bye for now.